Many consider income taxes to be a necessary evil. They're a relatively modern phenomenon. They were introduced in the US in 1913. Back then they were only for those earning more than $3,000 per year, and they were taxed at the rate of 1%. This increased to 6% for those earning more than $500,000 per year. Only around 3% of the population was liable to pay income taxes at that time. Income taxes are not a necessary evil. Whatever side of the argument you're on, income taxes are highly immoral. Here are 9 reasons why. The fact that income taxes exist gives the state the opportunity to look into your private life. Without income taxes, the state would have no excuse to investigate how you live. It wouldn't have to know where you work, or where you spend your money. All financial privacy vanishes. As long as income taxes exist, financial privacy cannot exist. The government can look at all your financial accounts whenever it wants. Too much power to the state to control the economy. A true capitalist society can never exist as long as there are income taxes. Central planners in government set the rates of tax. They provide loopholes for the politically connected. They adjust rates to stimulate the economy. Tax rates can be reduced to stimulate demand or increased to reduce demand. A country that does this can't be said to have a true capitalist economy. Income taxes give petty bureaucrats power over you. Petty bureaucrats that work with tax authorities such as the IRS have too much control over your life. The kind of people who work for tax authorities are generally lazy and unmotivated. They make frequent errors. Tax authorities often have the power to remove money from your bank accounts automatically. In the US, they can refuse to renew your passport if you owe more than $50,000 in taxes. The compliance costs time and worry. Income taxes not only steal your money, they rob you of your time too. People spend massive amounts of time keeping records and filling forms to satisfy the government's demands. Rates change arbitrarily. Governments can't generate income honestly. Governments don't generate income like businesses do. Businesses have to provide a product or service that people want at a fair price. If they fail to do that, they'll go bankrupt. Governments face no such pressures. It's universally accepted that all government services are lousy and inefficient. We're forced to deal with them and forced to comply when they adjust their prices with higher tax rates. Money collected pays for immoral things. When they get your money, it's often spent on immoral things. Governments have murdered millions of people through wars. They incarcerate people for victimless crimes. Billions are wasted on destructive activities. Taxes damage the most productive people most. The most productive people who earn most are penalized most by income taxes. Anybody with substantial income generates this by providing value for his services. A productive individual will invest much of his profits back into his business so he can provide his products to a wider audience. The more money the state steals from the productive, the less value they can provide to others. The vast amount of data collected isn't safe. Governments are incompetent at everything they do. They simply can't be trusted to safely hold vast amounts of data on every individual in the country. Anybody who has access to this data, including employees of tax authorities, can use it for nefarious means. It's beyond question that income taxes are immoral. Much smaller governments exist that are funded entirely by consumption taxes. Countries with no income taxes include Qatar, Monaco, and the Cayman Islands. Everyone has a moral duty not to fund the evils of the state. This can be done by moving yourself physically to a jurisdiction with no taxes. If that's not possible, you should take every legal measure possible to avoid funding governments.